Many have asked what I think about the KTM 690 and its brother, the Husky 701. The big pumpkin definitely has its fans, and I can see why. Over 70 horsepower at the rear wheel can be very addictive for the speed jockeys. However, I wasn't so impressed with mine. In fact, I sold it 2 months after buying it. Personally, I think there are design issues with the 690 and also something of an identity crisis. I know many will disagree. Yes, this is just a personal opinion. So read a pile of other reviews too to get a well-rounded perspective. To my way of thinking, the 690 has a close ratio gearbox compared to similar bikes in its class. First gear, way too high for dirt riding, while it seems to be revving higher than needed on the highway. I also found persistent false neutrals between 4th, 5th and 6th gears. It's a commonly reported issue. Some guys say the false neutrals disappear after a good run-in. Not so with my 690. In stock trim, I found the 690 unbearably twitchy and jerky at low revs, and very prone to stalling. There are probably more up-to-date fixes now, but a few years back the solution was a remap and aftermarket exhaust. Look, most KTM models run fine in standard trim, and with its price tag, I think it's a shame the 690 didn't at least run properly until modified, at least for those of us who like to use the low revs as well as the rest. Apparently the Husky 701 has a completely new engine for 2017. Let's hope it runs better and is more reliable. And speaking of exhausts, I've always liked KTM exhausts as they aren't too restrictive, they're reasonably light and keep the bikes reasonably quiet. But the 690 pipe is a shocker. It weighs a ton. The catalytic converter also runs so hot I found I was melting the plastic side cover. A terrible design that is only good for frying eggs. Apparently the Husky has a different exhaust. Hopefully it's a better design. For taller riders, the foot pegs are too high and you may find yourself in a jockey style position. And some of us also find the bars too low, although that's an easy fix. While the ergos suit shorter riders, the tall seat height works against them. The seat, pure dirt bike, and you'll want something way more comfortable for dual sport and adventure riding. The suspension I found was brutally harsh. It seemed fine on the road, but only started to work semi-okay with extremely aggressive riding. I'm not sure if the suspension has been fixed on recent models, but a quick Google around suggests it's still a common complaint, at least up to around the 2013 models. Reliability. Plenty of 690 owners report trouble-free riding, but reliability is a well-known problem for others. Google around for a list, but some common problems are the fuel pumps, rocker arm bearings, electrics, injectors and the wiring loom. This reliability problem has deterred some from using the 690 as an adventure bike, but others say you just need to carry the relevant spare parts, know the problems and fixes, and do thorough maintenance checks before your adventure rides. So what was the 690 meant to be? It's called an enduro model, but it's far too heavy and lacks a good turning circle for true dirt riding, of course. It takes a lot of mods to turn it into an adventure bike, but then I think for many the reliability issues then become a problem. Is the 690 just a wheel-spinning, kick-ass dual sport bike? Well, many use it that way and love it. All I know is it's a bike that seems to polarise riders. At a rough guess, I'd say 2 out of 3 riders fall in love with their 690. The rest don't. And I'm one of the latter riders, obviously. Usually KTM put a lot of work into improving their bikes, but I reckon the 690 appears to have been left in the too hard basket. I'm keen to see if the rebadged Husky version for 2017 can resolve the identity crisis and get this spike fully sorted.